Hey there everyone, let's talk about what I think is probably the most forgotten about or underestimated tool both in survival and bushcrafting. Hey everyone, it's Darby of RiverBendSurvival again. Today I want to talk to you just for a couple of minutes about a tool that I think that a lot of people in both survival and bushcrafting fields underestimate, undervalue, or don't express enough. And that tool is the pocket knife. Everybody's looking for the perfect knife. I've expressed my feelings on it before. There is no perfect knife. If it's great for shelter building, it's not great for making small projects or detail work. If it's great for detail work, it's not great for making shelters. You can have a knife that can do it all, but it's going to be better at some things than others. The quickest way to fix that is carry a pocket knife. I'm going to readjust the camera here, and I'm going to show you the knives that I have carried or that I do carry. It only take a couple of minutes. They're very simple, they're very small, they're not expensive, but they make all the difference in the world when you're doing projects and when you're out bushcrafting and even potentially in a survival situation. Let me get the camera reset and we'll get to it. In my line of work, what I do for a living, I wear a duty belt, or I wear a gun belt, or I wear my sidearm and such. On my duty rigs, there's a knife on the gun belt itself. If I'm just carrying a Kydex holster or whatever, I carry a tactical folding knife. This is not the perfect knife for bushcrafting, it's not the perfect knife for survival, but it's a good knife to have for emergency situations. I'm not married to them, I'm not sponsored by them or anything like that. I just really like the CRKT brand of knives. I'm not recommending them, I just think you get a lot of knife for the amount of money. There are better knives out there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But the point is Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, whatever my work week is, I always have one of these type of knives on me when I'm at work. It's part of my everyday carry, part of my duty gear. Now, when it comes to bushcrafting, if I am up and dressed, there is always a knife in my pocket. Whether it's the tactical folder, whether it's one of the two knives I'm getting ready to show you, I have always got one. Now, the knife I carried for years and years and years, you've seen it in a bunch of videos, you've seen it in videos at the meetups, videos with Kenneth Cram. You've seen this knife. It is nothing special. It's just an old-timer. It's just a two-bladed old-timer. You can see this it's got many a mile on it. I lost the pick a long time ago, then I lost the tweezers, and then my friend found me the tweezers. Well, actually bought me another knife, a knockoff brand of this, but the tweezers and the pick fit this, and then I immediately lost the pick again. I do like having tweezers for the obvious reason of I live in South Texas. Everything here has thorns, and it's good for getting out thorns and splinters. I have a system, and it's just what I do. The bigger of the two blades, the one that's got the rounded end here, I pretty much do everything with it. I very seldom, if ever, use the other blade. The reason for that is this blade gets dull over time. You know, if I'm on a 3-day camp out, you know, I'm cutting stuff to eat or whatever, I'm doing traps, triggers, things like that, it starts to get dull. But I always want to make sure, for medical reasons, nothing else, but for medical reasons, that I have a razor sharp blade available. And this blade right here, since I never use it, is always razor sharp. I can shave with it, and I have not, well, we'll get to that in a second. It's razor sharp right now. I can shave the hair off my hand with it. You can see that it needs a little attention. I just noticed that. I'm going to have to spend some time with it this weekend. But I always keep one razor sharp. So the two-blade system works great for me for that. I stopped carrying this knife, probably it's probably been 3 years now, maybe 4 years ago, I stopped carrying this knife. I don't have anything against it, but I found a knife that I like better for what I do with my bushcrafting and teaching and classes and just going out and having fun doing my stuff. And I'm actually on my second one because, to be honest with you, I lost the first one. This is the Swiss Army knife, Victorinox, whatever you want to call it. I wish I could tell you the name of it, but as soon as I explain it, you'll be able to find it if you want one. It's easy to find. They're everywhere. They're not that expensive. And my son got me this one. Anyway, it has just the regular blade. I love the blade. Like I said, you could do shelter building. You can do any task with any knife, as long as you understand the knife's limitations and its strengths. You're obviously not going to baton or anything like that with this, but as I've expressed before, I don't ever baton. But the thing I love about this knife in particular is, especially when it comes to trap building, things like that, I love this saw. It has a full-length saw in it, and man, it's nasty. It's got a lot of mesquite goo on it. Anyway, you want to talk about making trigger sticks and camp cookware, not even cookware, attachments for making cooking on campfires and stuff. This thing makes quick work of it, and it's small. You can get in there really close. You can do whatever you want to with it. It's also got some other things on it, like the flathead screwdriver and can opener, and the I guess that's actually a bottle opener, and then you have a can opener and a little Yahoo here. They're fine. I don't know that I've ever opened. That's why I couldn't tell you what they were off the top of my head. It also has an awl in it, and that is extremely important to me. Let me just make it easier. Between these three items, you pretty much have the perfect survival knife. I have a blade for cutting. I have a saw for making my cutting details, my cutting work quicker and easier for most things. And I have this awl. Y'all have seen where I've made needles and stuff with this before. Love this knife. The other thing that I really like about the knife, before I let you go, and one of the main reasons I switched to it, well, one of the big reasons I switched to it is, this is actually a lock blade. So the knife handle doesn't fold back on you. You have to hit the button on the side to get it to fold back in. That's a nice touch. It's of course only on the knife blade itself. The saw and stuff you don't have to, but the blade itself is actually a lock blade. It locks up solid, it's tight. It's just a great knife. But when it comes to doing tasks around the camp, you know, if I'm going to be making, we'll just stick with the same subject, if I'm going to be making using sticks to make a trigger for a snare, it is so much easier to make it with one of these than it is with my full-size BK knife, my BK16. It's so much easier because that knife, you know, that blade is this long, and if I'm dealing with little things here, I can do it. And you need to be able to do it with both of, you know, if you're going to carry two knives, you need to be able to do it with both of them. But if I'm doing detail work, I don't even take that knife out of my sheath. I just reach my pocket and pull this out, and I go to work on it. Something to think about. It costs next to nothing. Carry it in your pocket all the time. You get used to having it there, and then when you need it, you just automatically reach for it. Until next time, this is Darby reminding you, get out in the dirt and have some fun.